I felt I was alone. I thought I had locked the door, but in that single moment my entire life changed. The soft swish of silk against my skin, the weight of the earrings dangling from my ears, the faint scent of perfume still lingering in the air. And then a sound, the click of heels on the wooden floor. My heart slammed against my ribs. No, that's impossible. She wasn't supposed to be home yet. I turned sharply, dread coiling in my stomach. My mother stood at the doorway, arms crossed, lips slightly parted, eyes scanning me from head to toe. I was wearing a silky pink dress, her dress. My breath caught. My legs trembled. My mind screamed at me to move or do something, anything, but I was frozen. A slow, eerie smile crept onto her lips. Well, well. Her voice was calm, too calm. I wanted to run. I wanted to disappear. But what she said next made my blood turn cold. Let's make it permanent. Ethan had always felt different. He wasn't sure when it started, but for as long as he could remember there was something inside him that didn't quite fit. He was an introvert, the kind of guy who never stood out at school. He blended in, never too loud, never too noticeable. At home he was quiet, obedient, always careful around his mother. But late at night, when the house was empty, when the world was quiet, he would slip into her room. He would stand in front of her mirror, carefully unbuttoning his shirt, letting it slide off his shoulders. He would open her closet, running his fingers over the delicate fabrics, silk, lace, satin, softer, finer than anything he had ever worn. And then he would transform. Dresses that hugged his body in all the right places, stockings that made his legs feel long and elegant, makeup that changed his face, erasing the man and replacing him with something else, someone else. And in those moments he felt free. But freedom was dangerous. Secrets were dangerous. Because no matter how careful he was, no matter how many times he checked the locks, tonight he got caught. Victoria wasn't a typical mother. She was strong, sharp, and always in control, a woman who never second-guessed herself. Everything in her life was planned, organized, precise. Ethan had never truly felt close to her. There was always a distance, an unspoken expectation that he would follow her rules, never step out of line. And he never had, until now. Ethan stood frozen as his mother took a slow step into the room. The air was thick with the scent of her perfume. The tension was suffocating. She tilted her head, studying him like he was some kind of experiment. Her voice, smooth as silk, sent shivers down his spine. You look different. Ethan swallowed hard, his throat dry. His mind scrambled for an excuse, a lie, anything, but nothing came. The silence stretched between them, heavy and unbearable. Then she stepped closer. Her fingers brushed the fabric of the dress. A smirk played on her lips. If you wanted to wear my clothes, darling, she murmured, running a finger along the sleeve, you should have just asked. His stomach dropped. This wasn't the reaction he expected. No shouting, no anger, just amusement. But something about the way she looked at him made his skin crawl. You know what? She mused, tapping a manicured nail against her chin. I think we should make this official. Ethan's blood ran cold. What? He choked, barely able to get the word out. Her smile widened. Let's make it permanent. His mind was screaming, no, 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 this isn't happening. But it was. Because his mother, the one person who was supposed to protect him, wasn't angry. She was excited. Her eyes gleamed with something dangerous, something possessive. She reached out, tucking a stray lock of hair behind his ear. Her touch was feather-light but chilling. We're going to have so much fun, my dear. His breath hitched. Because deep down he knew this wasn't a joke. This wasn't just a game. This was real, and there was no escape. Ethan's heart pounded so loudly he could barely hear anything else. He opened his mouth to speak, to deny, to beg, to explain, but nothing came out. His mother's smirk didn't waver. You're so quiet, sweetheart, she teased, tilting her head. Are you embarrassed? Ethan's hands curled into fists at his sides. Yes, he was beyond embarrassed, humiliated, terrified. Mom. His voice was barely above a whisper. This was just a mistake. I swear. A mistake? She interrupted, raising an eyebrow. Darling, There's no need to lie. She stepped closer. Her heels clicked against the wooden floor. The scent of her perfume surrounded him, intoxicating yet suffocating. Her fingers trailed over his shoulder, down the soft fabric of the dress. His entire body tensed. You wouldn't go through all this effort just for a mistake now, would you? Ethan's breath came in shallow gasps. She wasn't angry. That was the worst part. If she had screamed, if she had been furious, maybe, just maybe, he could have gotten out of this. But she wasn't. She was intrigued, and that was so much worse. Ethan forced himself to move, to step away, but his mother's grip on his wrist tightened. Where do you think you're going? She purred, her nails lightly pressing into his skin. I need to change. Oh no, sweetheart, she smiled, but her eyes held something dark behind them. You're staying just like this. His stomach twisted. Mom, please, he whispered, desperate now. This was just a stupid mistake. I won't do it again. I swear. She placed a manicured finger against his lips.
Sure.
You don't have to pretend with me, darling. I know you enjoyed this. Ethan's face burned. I didn't. Then why do you look so beautiful? He froze. Her fingers brushed his cheek, her touch almost affectionate, but affection wasn't what he felt. He felt trapped. You've been doing this for a while, haven't you? She murmured. Ethan's lips trembled. He wanted to lie. He wanted to deny everything. But something in her gaze told him she already knew. She knew everything, and there was no escape. Now, let's make you perfect. His mother's voice was silky sweet, but it sent a cold shiver down his spine. She led him to her vanity, her grip firm but gentle. Sit, she ordered. Ethan hesitated. He could still fight back. He could still say no. But then he saw her reflection in the mirror. She was waiting to see if he would resist, waiting to see if he would obey. And something deep inside him whispered that if he disobeyed, things would get worse. So with a dry throat and shaking hands, he sat. His mother smiled. That's a good girl. His stomach twisted, but he didn't correct her. She started with his hair, running her fingers through it, tilting his head back, humming softly. Your hair is already so soft, she mused. A little styling and you'll be perfect. Ethan clenched his fists in his lap. He refused to look at himself in the mirror, but his mother noticed. Look up, she instructed. He hesitated. She gripped his chin gently, but firmly. Look at yourself. Slowly, reluctantly, he lifted his gaze. And what he saw made his breath hitch. With just a little adjustment, a little softness added to his hair, he already looked different, more feminine, more like someone else. His mother smiled. You're going to love this, she promised. Ethan wasn't sure if she was talking about him or herself, but something in her voice told him that it didn't matter because he didn't have a choice. The makeup came next, light powder dusting over his cheeks, soft pink lip gloss, a gentle brush of mascara. With every touch, with every stroke, Ethan disappeared and someone else took his place. You know, his mother murmured as she adjusted his lipstick, I think we need a new name for you. Ethan swallowed hard. Mom, please. Hush, darling. She tapped his nose playfully. You need a proper name for such a pretty girl. He clenched his jaw. He wasn't a girl. But his mother's smile sharpened as if she could hear his thoughts. I think, she drawled, her nails lightly along his arm, you look like an Evie. Ethan flinched. That's not my name, he whispered. His mother's eyes darkened. It is now. A chill ran down his spine because in her voice, in her eyes, in the way she looked at him, he knew one thing for certain. This wasn't just a game. This wasn't just a one-time thing. She meant it, and she wasn't going to let him go. Ethan, no, Evie, stared at his reflection. His heart was hammering in his chest. The girl in the mirror was a stranger. Soft curls framed his face. His lips gleamed with a subtle glossy pink. The delicate fabric of the dress clung to him in a way that made his skin burn with both shame and something else, something he couldn't admit. But this couldn't be real. This couldn't be happening. Mom, this is enough, he stammered, gripping the edge of the vanity. Please let me change back. His mother sighed dramatically, placing a hand on her hip. Oh, sweetheart, you still don't get it, do you? Ethan's stomach twisted. Get what? She walked over to the bed and picked up something he hadn't noticed before, something that made his breath catch in his throat, a shopping bag. "I knew you'd need something extra special," she said, pulling out the contents, a pair of nude-colored high heels. Ethan took an instinctive step back. "No." His mother smiled. "Yes." She set the shoes down in front of him, folding her arms. "Put them on, Evie." His entire body stiffened. "No way," he whispered, his voice shaky. Her expression darkened. "Ethan, you don't have a choice." The name Ethan sounded foreign coming from her lips now. It didn't belong to him anymore. She had taken it away. Pushing on, Ethan's hands trembled as he bent down, slipping his feet into the delicate heels. The moment his weight shifted onto them, he nearly lost his balance. His mother chuckled. "Careful, darling. You'll need to learn how to walk properly." His humiliation deepened. "Mom, why are you doing this?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. She tilted her head. "Oh, sweetie, you really don't understand yet, do you?" She stepped behind him, placing her hands on his shoulders. He flinched. "This isn't about dressing up," she murmured, her voice dripping with amusement. "This is about becoming." Ethan's breath hitched. "You've been hiding this part of yourself for so long, but don't worry. Mom is here to help." He felt sick. "You don't get it," he snapped, finally finding his voice. "I don't want this. I never wanted this." His mother laughed. "Oh, Evie." She leaned in close, whispering in his ear. "You say that, but your body tells a different story." His entire face burned. "You're lying." "Am I?" Her knowing smirk sent a chill down his spine. Because deep down some twisted part of him wondered if she was right, and that scared him more than anything else. "We're going out." The words hit him like a truck. Ethan's eyes widened in horror. "No. No way. Mom, please." She grabbed his wrist, her grip firm. "Evie, you're coming with me." His pulse skyrocketed. She couldn't be serious. Could she? "Where?" "Where are we going?" he choked. She smiled sweetly. "Shopping, of course. A girl like you needs the perfect wardrobe." Panic. Pure, unfiltered panic. "No, Mom, please don't do this to me." But she was already dragging him toward the door, and he was too weak to stop her. The moment they stepped outside, Ethan's knees nearly buckled. The air felt different. Before he had always been just another guy, but now he was Evie, and the world was watching. His mother held his arm as they walked down the street, her grip keeping him upright. "Stand tall, sweetheart," she whispered. "You don't want people to think you're nervous." But he was. Every step in those heels felt like a battle. Every glance from a stranger felt like a knife in his skin. And then it got worse. "Hey, Mississippi cute dress." His breath stopped. He turned, his heart hammering in his chest. A man had just complimented him. His mother squeezed his arm. "Say thank you, Evie." He felt like he was going to be sick, but the man was still waiting and his mother's grip was unrelenting. Thank you," he whispered. The man grinned. "You're welcome, gorgeous." And just like that he was gone. But the damage was done. Because Ethan knew he had passed. The world saw him as a girl, and there was no going back. By the time they reached the clothing store, Ethan was on the verge of collapse, but his mother was thriving. "Now let's get you some proper outfits," she said cheerfully, leading him inside. Rows of dresses, skirts, lingerie stretched before him. "Go ahead, darling. Pick something." Ethan shook his head. I can't." Her expression hardened. "Evie, I won't ask again." His hands curled into fists. He wanted to scream. He wanted to tear off these clothes and run. But something inside him, something deep, dark, and terrifying whispered. Would you though? Would he really run, or was there a part of him that didn't want to? Just as he was about to speak, the worst happened. He heard a voice he knew. "Ethan, is that you?" His blood turned to ice. Slowly he turned, and there, standing a few feet away, was his best friend. "Ethan, is that you?" The words cut through him like a knife. Ethan's breath hitched. No, this couldn't be happening. His best friend Jake stood just a few feet away, staring at him with wide, disbelieving eyes. Ethan froze. His mind screamed at him to run, to hide, to do something, but he couldn't move. His mother, standing beside him, didn't flinch. Instead, she smiled. "Oh, Jake, what a lovely surprise," she said sweetly. Jake blinked, his eyes darting from Ethan to his mother then back again. "Dude, what's going on?" Ethan opened his mouth, but no words came out. His mother answered for him. "Oh dear, I suppose you haven't met my daughter Evie yet." Jake's jaw dropped. "Daughter? What are you talking about?" He laughed nervously. "This is some kind of joke, right?" Ethan's stomach twisted into knots. "Mom, please," he whispered, but she ignored him. "Ethan." Jake stepped forward, frowning. "Dude, why are you dressed like that?" His heart pounded. He wanted to scream the truth, to tell Jake that this wasn't his choice, that he had been forced into this. But before he could say anything, his mother let out a mocking laugh. "Oh, Jake, dear, I think you're confused." She turned to Ethan with a knowing smirk. "Go on, sweetheart. Tell Jake your real name." Ethan's blood ran cold. Jake's eyes narrowed. "Ethan." His mother's grip on his arm tightened. "Evie," she corrected. The world around Ethan blurred. His mind screamed no, but his lips betrayed him. "I am Evie," he whispered. Jake's face fell. Silence for a moment. Time stood still. Then Jake took a step back. "You're joking." His voice was barely above a whisper. "This isn't real. You're messing with me, right?" Ethan's hands shook. "Jake, you're serious?" Jake's face twisted in confusion, disbelief, and something else. Disgust. Ethan's stomach dropped. "Dude, what the hell is wrong with you?" Jake's voice was sharp now. "This isn't funny. You're dressed like a freaking girl. Do you even hear yourself?" Ethan's vision blurred with tears. "I didn't. Pathetic," Jake muttered. The word hit Ethan like a slap. Pathetic. The world spun. "Jake, wait." But Jake was already turning away. "I don't know what's going on, but whatever this is, I don't want to be a part of it." And then just like that, he was gone. The moment Jake disappeared, Ethan broke. His knees gave out. Tears spilled down his cheeks as he clutched his face, sobbing. "No, no, no." His mother knelt beside him, rubbing slow circles on his back. "Sho, sweetheart, it's okay." "No, it's not. Jake is never going to talk to me again." Ethan choked out. "You ruined everything." His mother simply smiled. "Oh, darling," she murmured, tucking a curl behind his ear. "He wasn't worth your time anyway." Ethan gasped. His mother's words, her tone. She wasn't comforting him. She was pleased. And, in that moment, something inside Ethan snapped. "You planned this, didn't you?" His voice trembled with rage. "You wanted this to happen." She didn't deny it. Instead, she simply gave him that same sweet, knowing smile. "Evie, darling." Her fingers brushed against his cheek. "You don't need him." Ethan trembled. His whole body screamed at him to fight back, but he was so tired, so weak. And deep down, a terrible, horrifying thought whispered in his mind. Maybe she was right. Maybe he really was Evie now. That night, Ethan sat in front of his mirror. His reflection stared back at him, a stranger. The delicate pink gown, the soft curls, the girl in the mirror. "Who am I?" he whispered. His mother's words echoed in his head. "You don't need him. This isn't about dressing up. It's about becoming." He clenched his fists. "I'm Ethan," he muttered. "I'm not Evie. I'm not." But then why did he look so much like her? His fingers reached up, grazing his lips. They were still glossy. His nails, painted a delicate pink, felt natural. A shiver ran down his spine. Slowly, hesitantly, he whispered the name. "Evie." And as he did, something shifted inside him. A terrifying, irreversible shift, one that told him there was no turning back. The door creaked open. His mother stepped inside, smiling softly. "How are you feeling, sweetheart?" Ethan swallowed hard. "I don't know," he admitted. She walked over, sitting on the edge of his bed. "It's okay," she murmured, tucking him in like a child. "It's been a long day." He nodded numbly. His mother leaned in, pressing a gentle kiss to his forehead. "Good night, Evie," she whispered. And in that moment, Ethan didn't correct her. The next morning, the sun streamed through the curtains. Ethan slowly sat up, his body feeling lighter. His mother's voice called from downstairs. "Evie, sweetheart, come have breakfast." Ethan hesitated for a moment. A single choice stood before him. He could rip off the nightgown. He could run. Or he could go downstairs as Evie. The air felt thick with tension. Slowly, carefully he stood. His hands smoothed the fabric of his nightgown. His bare feet padded across the floor. Step by step he reached for the door. And then, click. The door opened. And Evie stepped through. To be continued. Did Ethan just give in, or is there still a part of him that wants to fight back? What do you think will happen next?